Neighborhood. I'm gonna bring on stage right now Mr. Lucas George. Mr. Lucas George. Mr. Lucas George is one of the executive producers of Empire, and has taken his time out to come out here tonight to speak to you guys and to thank you all for coming out on your Sunday evening and to talk about the fact, and you correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. George, are happy to be partners in the community here.
Absolutely. I'm inspired by what I've heard tonight, what I see tonight with One Chicago. I think you guys are great, and I think it's good that you're taking control of what your future is and what the future is of this community here. I mean, you know, this is a great opportunity for Chicago. I think having City Space here and having some television shows actually coming here, I'm always talking about, you know, when I shoot in different cities, the benefit of our industry over some others. You know, I mean, we come in and we spend millions of dollars, you know, with cleaners and with lumber yards and with all sorts of people. We do things with florists and so on. I mean, it's all part of making a television show. We hire lots of people. But unlike Toyota or some other companies that might come into a community that get these huge tax breaks, you know, they hire some people, but they're bringing all their raw materials in from out of town and they're selling their stuff outside somewhere else again. I think our business is a clean business, which brings in a lot of opportunity for a lot of communities. And it sort of, it can help the community. I think, especially with some place like this where, you know, this could either be something that people sort of say, hey, you know, what are they doing here? You know, this is our town, what are you doing? This is our community, what are you doing? Or you can embrace it. And I think it's great that people are embracing it, and I intend to embrace it from whatever I can do. I'm only a person, you know, I represent a studio, and I can talk to the other people who are from Chicago Fire, Chicago Med, Chicago PD. I think that, you know, I always like to give back to the community. I'd love to do something, you know, in a general sense, but even more in a specific sense for the local people. I'm proud to have been part of Stage 18 with Alex and what he did here with the people here. And I think, you know, I would like to do some stuff for what we can do. I mean, I come up with these ideas as I sit here and I'll talk to Mark about them, but, you know, there's no reason why we couldn't get some of the locals to training program for some of the kids. I've offered to sort of have, you know, the kids come in. You know, it's easy to say these things. I mean, there's always a lot of logistics involved. I mean, I say I'd love to have some of the kids come in and take a tour of the studio so they can see behind the scenes. Maybe that little bit of magic will be something that'll inspire them. You know, I'd love to have people who do different things, whether it's a grip or a gaffer or something that people probably don't even know what they do, come in and speak to the kids and tell them what they do. All of this stuff is great, and I'd love to do it. I mean, but of course, you know, I start bringing a group of people through the studio, and the studio starts talking to me about liability issues, what if somebody falls, and all that. So it's easier said than done many times. But I'd like to do it, and I'd like to do something for the, you know, for the local community. I'd like to get the other shows that are here to help out with it. So maybe we can get the studios to all chip in and do some things that we can do for the community. I know that I've been in other towns, I think in Nashville, when I was there, we had a thing where the city actually paid kids to come in and be trained by us and trained by our people. And it was like a fund for that, and that sort of encouraged more to come. And I think those are the kind of things that you're probably looking for from us here. And I'd love to be able to be part of it and do it for everybody here, because I do think that, you know, listen, we do a television show, and a lot of people like it, but it's nothing compared to like if we turn one person around and they become somebody special someday. I think that is a lot bigger a thing and a lot more important a thing, and I would be much prouder of something like that than I would be of having done this show. So I think it'd be a great thing for us to try to work with the community. I think the other shows too, and I'm willing to help out any way I can and work with the other producers for the other shows to try to make this something happen. But like I say, it's easier said than done. I'm gonna need help from some of the people here, from Mark or whatever else, so that we can sit down and figure out how we do it and do it right. You know, so that there's no issues later on, in terms of whether it's a liability thing or something like that. But I think it'd be a great thing to do, to sit down, like I say, have my people would love to do that too, to come in and talk to everybody. Maybe we can inspire some kids here to do something and become something. This is a great town. This is a really great town. I mean, in terms of where film is, it's New York, it's Chicago, and it's LA. I mean, Atlanta's become huge because all of a sudden of their tax incentive, but They don't have the actors. They don't have the resources that Chicago has, New York, and LA. And I think Chicago is right up there and should be right up there. And maybe you can become a more vibrant, creative community than even New York or LA. You know, I think that the potential is there if it's embraced and run with.
Tell us what the fortune. They know that I'm a boss. I got the highest fortune. I'm all about my business. I'm all about my business.
Give it up for Lucas George, everybody, and thanks for coming out. And you know what? The opportunities that exist here. He talks about why New York and Chicago, because we have the theater community. So those of you out there who want to be actors or actresses, get involved in the theater community here in Chicago, get some training, and then when you come here, you've got a little body of work that you can go on. Also, catering opportunities and lighting and power. I've got friends that work in here at the studio and who are doing it all. All right, before I let you go, Mark Carter's going to come back up, ladies and gentlemen. Mark's got a few more words for you. Give it up one more time for Mark Carter, everybody.
I guess I want to do some closing remarks. I think we have a couple of our artists that we're going to be pushing because we know we got to get our children involved. We have Son Taylor in the room. Son Taylor, what right? But before we bring the artists up, I do want to say this. Tonight is where we start to pool our skills and knowledge to build an entertainment community. In other words, you all, we're going to find violence something to do. We're going to do it with the support of the movie industry, entertainment in general. But I cannot sit down without calling a few names out who helped make this possible tonight. Pastor Miller is in. I see him in the back there. Pastor Miller's been a strong supporter of the movement. Judge Mary Ann Jackson. Would you stand up for me, Judge Mary Ann Jackson? One of our strong fighters, Judge Mary Ann Jackson. She helped turn a lot of young kids' lives around in the city. Let's see what other faces that I see in the room. Pastor Hunter, he's been here since the early years of 1999, 2000 when we first started organizing around this thing. But I definitely couldn't do this without my other side, other half in the movement, Paul McKinley. We started a group called Vote Voices Ex-Offenders, where we vowed that we would never allow our children to be used as the next offenders. Now, as we leave here tonight, I want to say to you all that whatever field that you may be in, whether it be real estate, you want to own a hotel, you want to own a sports bar, a club, restaurants, this will be an opportunity. And we will take this community, using this movie studio as the anchor, to do a multi-billion-dollar redevelopment of North Lawndale. And it's going to expand all the way into the south end of the city. Because we say that we're not separated and never will be separated by sides of town or communities anymore. We say that we're one Chicago. And we want you all to say it together with us. One Chicago.
One Chicago.
One Chicago.
One Chicago.
And DJ Phantom, where's DJ Phantom? Go ahead.
Okay, real quick, I want to speak from the artist perspective of what we're doing. Everywhere I go, they have a music industry. Atlanta, New York, California, Chicago really has never really had a music industry. We're here to change all that by supporting our artists, make better artists like Scott Taylor, very great artist. that I know, and it's a bunch more people that really didn't get a fair shot. All right? I know for a fact that the station that I work for in Atlanta, the radio station I work for, B103 in Atlanta, my boss tells me, hey fam, here's your playlist, but here's a separate list of people that are from Atlanta. That doesn't happen here. But we want to change all of that. We want to start by refreshing the artist industry. We want to get 10 different artists, get 2 records from each artist, and present these artists to the radio station. We're going to get all of the top dogs in Chicago, the A&Rs, the DJs, from every radio station to approve these records. And then we will present them to every radio station that will play them in their demographic and ask them to rotate them and make one of these young guys a star like Atlanta makes their people stars. It's really a shame that all of the music and hip hop in Chicago are made by people in Atlanta. Why? Because they took the time to love themselves and be motivated to their artists and give their artists a chance. We don't have much of that. So we're starting this movement, a friendly movement, and this will be, like I said, the top dogs in every aspect of radio, record reps, and DJs to approve these 20 records. And we will present 20 so that they can make somebody a star. Pardon? Well, that's what me and myself and Philippe. I'm DJ Phantom Worldwide at Gmail. That's easy. DJ Phantom Worldwide at Gmail. We already have a couple artists that we'll be working with, so we're gonna do them one at a time, nothing forceful.